Have you ever wondered why these gorgeous wolf-like Siberian Huskies you see all over Instagram somehow end up abandoned or stuck in shelters? It's heartbreaking, isn't it? Especially when they look like epic snowtroopers ready to chase down dreams. Turns out the reasons are a mix of human missteps, breed quirks, and just plain misunderstanding. We're unpacking it in this video. What makes these pups' tails go from glamorous to cruelly realistic? We'll talk about how viral videos and impulse buys turn into abandoned huskies. Let's jump right into it. Number 1. They have mismatched expectations. One of the biggest reasons huskies end up abandoned is because people expect one thing and get something completely different. You see all those glamorous photos online of huskies with piercing blue eyes, sitting majestically in the snow like movie stars, and you think, wow, that's the dog for me. But what you do not see is the shredded sofa in the background, or the fact that the owner has already run 5 miles and the husky is still bouncing off the walls. Many people go in thinking they are getting a fluffy companion who will cuddle on the couch and look pretty for Instagram. In reality, they are getting a high-energy athlete who treats life like a never-ending obstacle course. When that reality check hits, many owners feel overwhelmed and start looking for ways out. The mismatch is not about the dog being bad. It is about humans expecting a cat in a husky suit. Number 2. They have exercise needs that never end. If you have ever met a husky, you know they have one main hobby in life: running. Not walking around the block, not playing fetch for 10 minutes, but full-on marathon-style running. These dogs were bred to pull sledges across icy landscapes all day long, so their energy levels are through the roof. Now picture an owner who thought a daily stroll after work would be enough. A husky will laugh in your face, then sprint circles around your garden until your plants give up on life. If that energy is not burned off, it quickly turns into destructive behavior. Shoes get eaten, furniture becomes chew toys, and sometimes walls mysteriously end up with holes. This endless need for exercise overwhelms a lot of families. Life gets busy, people get tired, and suddenly the husky's needs feel impossible to keep up with. For many, that is the point where they decide to give up. Number 3. They have an escape problem. Huskies have this funny little quirk. They do not believe in fences. You can build the Great Wall of China around your garden, and a husky will still find a way out. They climb, they dig, they squeeze through gaps that look physically impossible. It is like living with a furry magician who specializes in disappearing acts. Owners who are not prepared for this quickly find themselves in trouble. Imagine stepping outside with your morning tea, only to realize your husky is halfway down the street, tail wagging, enjoying a self-guided adventure. Some huskies can vanish in the time it takes you to blink, which is both impressive and terrifying. The constant escaping wears people down. Not everyone is ready to spend weekends reinforcing fences or chasing their dog around the neighborhood in pajamas. Sadly, this frustration leads many owners to give up and surrender their husky when the escape tricks become too much. Number 4. The grooming and shedding nightmares. If you think a husky is just a dog with a pretty coat, let me burst that bubble right now. That coat is a full-time job. Huskies do not shed a little. They shed like they are trying to make a second husky out of the fluff on your floor. Twice a year during shedding season, it looks like a snowstorm has hit your living room, except the snow sticks to your clothes, furniture, and even your tea. Some owners bring a husky home, admire the fluffy look, and then panic when they realize how much maintenance is required. Regular brushing is non-negotiable. Otherwise, the fur builds up, mats form, and the dog becomes uncomfortable. And let's not even talk about the vacuum cleaner. If you own a husky, that vacuum will practically become a member of the family. Many people underestimate just how much work goes into managing that double coat. When they cannot keep up, they feel overwhelmed and sometimes decide it is easier to give the dog up than live in a permanent blizzard of fur. Number 5. Their noise levels can drive people mad. Huskies are not quiet dogs. They are not the type to sit politely in the corner and bark once in a while. No, huskies talk, sing, howl, and sometimes scream like a toddler who has just dropped their ice cream. They have a whole range of sounds, from woo-woo conversations to dramatic cries that make your neighbors wonder if you are running a wolf sanctuary. Now, this can be hilarious and even endearing if you are ready for it. Some husky owners adore the constant chatter and treat it like having a very furry roommate with strong opinions. But for families who thought they were bringing home a calm, quiet pet, it is a shock. Noise complaints from neighbors are common, and if you live in a flat, forget it. your husky's late-night singing sessions might not make you very popular. When the noise becomes too much, some people decide it is easier to part with the dog than try to train or manage the vocal outbursts. Sadly, this is one more reason huskies often end up abandoned. Number 6. They have expensive upkeep and medical costs. Owning a husky is a bit like owning a luxury car. They are stunning. They turn heads everywhere they go, but keeping them in top shape is not cheap. Their food bill alone can make your wallet cry because these dogs are large, energetic, and need high-quality nutrition to keep their coats shiny and their energy levels steady. Cheap food just does not cut it. Then comes grooming. Huskies blow their coats twice a year, and when I say blow, I mean your house will look like a snow globe exploded inside it. Some owners try to manage at home, but many end up booking regular grooming sessions, which, of course, adds up. On top of that, huskies are prone to certain health conditions like hip issues and eye problems. Vet bills can come unexpectedly, and if an owner was not prepared for that financial commitment, reality hits hard. Sadly, when the costs pile up, some people decide they simply cannot afford to keep their husky anymore. Number 7. They have a stubborn and independent nature. Huskies have a mind of their own, and boy, do they know it. While some dogs live to please their humans, huskies like to think of themselves as equals in the relationship. You can call them, ask them nicely, even bribe them with treats. But if they have already decided that sniffing the neighbor's fence is more interesting, good luck getting their attention. This independent streak is part of what makes them fascinating, but it is also one of the biggest reasons people give up on them. Training a husky requires consistency, creativity, and a lot of patience. They are clever enough to learn commands quickly, but they will also test you to see if you really mean it. Many first-time owners mistake this independence for disobedience. They think their husky is being bad, when in reality the dog is just being, well, a husky. Sadly, when people cannot handle the challenge, they decide the breed is not for them, and the husky ends up abandoned. Number 8. They are not suited for small living spaces. Imagine trying to keep a marathon runner locked in a studio flat all day. That is pretty much what happens when a husky ends up in a home without enough space. These dogs were built to pull sledges across frozen landscapes, not to lounge on a single sofa cushion for hours on end. When confined, they become restless, destructive, and downright miserable. A husky without room to roam will often turn your furniture into chew toys or dig up your carpet as if they are searching for snow. It is not because they are naughty, it is because they physically cannot cope with being boxed in. Unfortunately, many people underestimate how much space and activity huskies really need, so when their lively dog keeps bouncing off the walls, owners sometimes throw in the towel. The husky gets labeled as unmanageable when in reality the environment just does not suit them. Number 9. They shed like crazy. If you think a little cat hair on your jumper is bad, wait until you live with a husky. These dogs have a double coat, which means they shed on a level that feels almost supernatural. Twice a year, they blow their coat, and when that happens, it looks like your house has been hit by a snowstorm made entirely of fur. You could vacuum in the morning, and by evening, it will look like you never even tried. Some owners even joke that huskies produce enough fluff to knit a whole new dog, and honestly, they are not wrong. Unless you are ready to brush constantly and invest in a serious vacuum cleaner, the amount of shedding can drive you absolutely mad. Sadly, many people who fall for the husky's stunning looks are blindsided by the reality of the constant hair. The frustration builds, and before long, some decide they just cannot cope anymore. There you have it. Huskies are stunning, dramatic, hilarious, and honestly a little too clever for their own good. But they are also a full-time job. If you have been nodding along thinking, "Yep, that sounds like my husky," then at least you know you're not alone. And if this deep dive into husky life has given you a better picture, then you will definitely want to check out the video on your screen next. It's all about the 10 things a dog will never forgive. See you there.